What is a CCTV?
The next device we're going to look at is called a CCTV, or a closed circuit television. This is a device that we look at typically for people whose reading goal is to read continuous text, lines of print in a newspaper or a magazine, and sometimes even in a novel. The difficult thing with using an optical or handheld magnifier for lines of print is that you're only seeing limited number of letters or words, and you're having to scroll across as you're reading. When we use a CCTV, which uses video magnification, it enables us to make print larger, it gives you a range of magnification, and it gives you a wider field of view, meaning that you're going to see more print at one time. Okay? The way this technology works is that there is a digital display in the form of a monitor. It's on an arm so that we can adjust the height and the angle of the screen so that it's a level comfortable for you. And then there is a special magnifying camera. Whatever is placed in the center of this tray, which moves left to right and up and down, is going to be magnified by the camera and projected onto the screen. Okay? So anything that fits between the tray and the camera will be magnified onto the screen. Generally speaking, it can be used for continuous text, things like the newspaper. The best way to use this device is to center yourself in front of the tray. You would put one hand on the left side of the tray and one hand on the right so that you can feel the movement of the tray. In the center of the tray are the main controls. This circle has two functions. The outer portion of the circle makes print larger as you turn it clockwise. Counterclockwise makes it smaller.
Boy, that can be useful.
Now, this is the actual color of the newspaper, so the contrast is quite poor. If I push the center portion, it gives us nice black on white, which is good contrast and much easier to see. We can also invert the image to make it white on black. Okay?
Boy.
So as you were reading, you would need to be able to move the tray from left to right and up and down in order to follow the sequence of the text. We can also use this machine for looking at things like photographs. So we could put a picture in the center of the tray so that you can see it in
that's very clear.
In true color.
That's nice to be able to see the pictures of the grandchildren.
Yes, of course, yeah. Or days when your hair wasn't so white.
Yes, that's true. That's very, very true.
The other thing we can do is use this to look at labels on a box or on a medication bottle.
Okay.
So that if you were having a frozen dinner here, we could make print much larger. And
doesn't cook it though.
No, doesn't cook it. That's all up to you. But again, we can change the appearance of the print to make it sharper.
So you change from the natural color to the basically a black and white.
Correct. Okay. Again, you get that range of magnification, so that if you find your vision changes over time, or if it fluctuates from day to day, you can adjust it accordingly. Okay.
That's awesome technology.
We can also use it for writing. I'll show you how to do this, and then I'll let you have a go with it. So for writing, we tend to use a little bit less magnification. So all I've done is put a piece of bold-lined paper underneath, which is nice because the lines are much darker and a little bit thicker than regular ruled paper. And then we're also going to use a felt tip pen, which gives you additional contrast to begin with. Okay? Now, the way to use this machine for writing is you're having to look up at the monitor when you're writing, and not where your eyes are naturally drawn to the page. Okay? So the best way to anchor your brain and your hand-eye coordination is to initially put your index finger on the page so you get a sense of where you need to bring the pen. Now I'll give you the felt tip pen. You're going to be looking up at the screen here as you're writing and not down at the page. So that's the end of your pen.
Okay, and I can print?
You can print, sure. Why don't you try my name? Great. Well done.
Look at that.
Ah,
There, how's that?
very good. Now the great thing about this is that if you needed to make it larger to be able to read it more clearly, you certainly could.
Okay.
So for making a grocery list, or maybe doing a crossword puzzle, or filling out an income tax form.
Oh, that'd be nice to be able to do crossword puzzles again.
So it gives you the ability to have your hands free so that you can read and write at the same time.
Excellent, yeah. That's very impressive.
For more helpful tips about living with vision loss, please visit www.cnib.ca or contact CNIB at 1-800-563-2642. CNIB, Seeing Beyond Vision Loss. This video has been made possible thanks to an educational grant from Novartis Pharmaceuticals Canada Incorporated.